little
No,
bit
it
more
can't do.
powerful.
No.
What you mean?
It can't do more. It
Why?
doesn't have the Steam library.
I
It doesn't have the kind of triple A games.
I'm
It
not talking
cannot do
about.
more.
I'm not talking about that by doing more. It has the Nintendo library, which is vast. It's not as vast as the
I
Steam
mean,
library.
it's not, and it's not. What's the word? It's not unique. I'm sorry, it's not unique.
What do you mean? It's not unique.
Steam library has an assortment of games that make it unique. Nintendo just has Nintendo.
Nintendo has a lot of unique games. They
And all
literally
of their games that
create
they have, they just rehashing out old shit. They reselling old games, bro.
and on top of that, the game is backwards. The system's backwards compatible with the Nintendo Switch, which the
Hell, you
Nintendo
can
Switch has a
emulate the
vast library.
Mel.
But
You can emulate the Nintendo Switch now. It
you
doesn't matter anymore.
you can
It
emulate
doesn't
some of
matter.
the games because there are games that require the joysticks in order to play, and that's what the Nintendo Switch
They will
too.
find a workaround. They
I'm
will
sure
find
there's
a
a workaround.
workaround. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure, but the Nintendo Switch, hardware wise, does more than the regular Steam Deck. Like the Steam Deck is just a very powerful handheld. It has gyro, which is good. It has like FSR and all that stuff that you get on the PC. But the Nintendo Switch has DLSS, which is better than FSR. It also has the whole mouse thing because they have like a little mouse thing now. It has the joysticks, which some of the games are going to be catered to that joystick joint. It does more. It doesn't surprise me that it's a little bit more than Steam Deck. When you consider the fact that it is more powerful and it does more. Like the LCD screen is better than the LCD screen on the Steam Deck.
You can switch out the screen. We're not even talking about that.
What you talking about?
Well, you
Switch
can
out the
switch out
screen?
the you can switch out the screen on a Steam Deck.
You can, but who the hell is actually doing that? Nobody's doing that.
I would. Listen, I got a Nintendo. I got a PSP, a Sega PSP that I play every now and then. I just bought a new case and a new IPS screen for it. You can switch it out and it's cheap. It
Is that
doesn't matter.
a PlayStation PSP?
Yeah. I put emulated games on it and I play it on the train when I want to.
Why didn't you get a Steam Deck?
So that's all I do. Yo, Mel, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Why didn't you get a Steam Deck? You
Oh.
could play emulated games on the Steam Deck.
No, I had it. I had it for a long time.
Okay.
I got a PSP and a PS Vita. I
have
had
a
it for
Vita.
a long time.
I actually have a PS Vita.
So like if you look at what it has, its library, you can say, yeah, Nintendo has a vast library. But when you look at Nintendo games, they keep putting out old shit and reselling old Mario games. And that's what everybody's mad about. They don't want another.
I mean,
they don't want another updated Zelda. They don't want another updated Zelda. They'll put out a new Zelda in 3 years. They'll update an old Zelda from a Nintendo Wii or some shit.
yeah.
You know, you don't need to. If you got a Steam Deck, only thing you need to do is emulate it. You could emulate the PS Vita. Let's put it like this: from Dreamcast, Xbox, Wii, you can put all of those on a Steam Deck. You try that on the Switch, they will fucking brick your system. You put it up on the internet on how to do it, they'll get it blocked.
Yeah,
there's just so much more you can do with a Switch over. You're talking about
Deck.
raw power. Yeah, so much you can do with a Steam Deck that you just can't do with a Switch.
Yeah, but a lot of the
Switch is
stuff
limited to its games.
A lot of the stuff you're talking about, the average consumer is not going to do. You're talking about a minority of hardcore players that will do something like that. I don't even emulate games on my Steam Deck, and I'm a hardcore gamer.
But Mel, what I'm saying is, it's not a. I'm not saying what you're going to do. I'm saying what your options are, what you can do.
Yes, but the problem is how many people are going to take advantage of what you can do. Not much. Most of the console players are just going to buy it and play it as is. And if that's the case, the Nintendo Switch is a really strong competitor against the base Steam Deck.
Are you talking about game variety or just overall power?
Just overall, the Nintendo Switch. First of all, the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna have the entire library of the Nintendo Switch, the base Nintendo Switch, because it's backwards compatible. So if you already owned a Nintendo Switch, all those games are going to be playable on the Nintendo Switch 2. Um,
I don't think that's an argument worth making, because that's like saying all of the PC games you own, you can put it on your on
your
your
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. So that's not
But
an argument.
let
That's
me
equal. That's not an argument
let me
that's
tell
worth
you the
making.
difference, though. Let me tell you the difference. Not every PC game you own works on the Steam Deck. Not every PC game you own works on the Steam. Every Nintendo Switch game you own will play on the Nintendo Switch too, because
Well,
developers
I honestly didn't know that.
developers optimize their will optimize their games for the Nintendo Switch, whereas on the Steam Deck it's just a compatibility error. Like Steam is making the effort to make those games run on Steam Deck. The developers ain't doing anything to make them games run on
And
Steam
then
Deck.
check this out. Xbox. Now you can play that on the Steam Xbox games on the Steam Deck now.
Yeah. You can do that for a while.
Plus Game Pass.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like you got to do a lot in order to get Game Pass running on the Steam Deck. Xbox Game Pass don't work natively on the Steam Deck.
Hey, you could do it though.
It is.
I think. No. It's coming this year. They already said it. It's coming this year.
To Steam Deck.
The Game Pass is coming to Steam.
To Steam or Steam Deck?
Difference. Steam Deck. It's going to be on the Steam Deck. No, it's going to be on the Steam Deck. I was looking at videos on it.
All right, that's what's up. Will Call of Duty be able to play on Steam Deck? Because you can't play Call of Duty on Steam Deck. You can't play Call of Duty. You can't play Overwatch. You can't play Apex Legends. You can't play Battlefield 2042. Anything with an anti-cheat on it, you can't play on the Steam Deck.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why?
Because of the anti-cheat. For some reason, it doesn't recognize the Steam Deck. I can't play my Call of Duty games. I have a Steam Deck. I have Steam Deck. You can't. There are some. Now it's not a lot. Most games do still play on the Steam Deck, but you can't play every game. Like I can't play my Call of Duty. I can't play Battlefield 2042. I can't play Apex Legends anymore because EA did some sort of update that prevents me from playing Apex Legends on my Steam Deck now. Because I used to be able to play Apex Legends on Steam Deck, and it actually ran pretty good. I used to be able to run Apex Legends at 60 frames per second on my Steam Deck, and then they did an update that prevents that now.
And how long ago was this?
A couple months ago. Steam Deck's been out for about 3 years, so I want to say a couple months ago, EA dropped that update that prevented us from playing Apex Legends on Steam Deck. In terms of Call of Duty,
I guarantee. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in terms of Call of Duty and Overwatch and Battlefield 2042, I could never play those games on Steam Deck. Like they always had that Ricochet anti-cheat, and for some reason that doesn't let you play it on Steam Deck. Unless you do a workaround where you like download Windows to your Steam Deck. You can play those games if you like do a workaround where you download Steam Windows on your Steam Deck. But again, the majority of casual players aren't going to do that.
But most of the people that's getting Steam Deck, I know why they doing it, and I'm looking at videos on why they doing that. It's because they got it to play everything, so they're going to do those workarounds. They're going to do them.
I don't believe that, dude. There's over 3 million Steam Decks that have been sold. Like it might actually be 4 million Steam Decks that have been sold. I doubt that a majority of people downloaded Windows on their Steam Deck. I'm one of them. I bought a Steam. I've never downloaded Windows on my Steam Deck.
Why not?
Because that workaround, like that's annoying to do. You got to do a lot in order to get that working. Buy a Steam Deck. Like you get a Steam Deck for $400. Buy a Steam Deck, and then you try it. Like I love my Steam. I literally just beat RoboCop Rogue City on my Steam Deck today. Like I play my Steam Deck all the time. Like, I love my Steam Deck, but it's a great device, bro. I would personally get a Steam Deck over a Nintendo Switch 2, and I've been thinking about getting a Nintendo Switch 2 for my daughter, but I might just get her the Steam Deck.
I would say get her the Steam Deck and do all of those fucking workarounds and emulate all of those Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Xbox fucking Wii U's, Dreamcast,
I mean, that's a
Super
lot.
Nintendo,
You
Genesis.
talking about like the
No,
emulators and
bro.
joint like that?
Yeah, bro. That literally takes you like if you take a good hour, you could download all of those games, bro. I did it on my PSP and I lost the drive for it. Bro, I downloaded every Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. What else I had? I had Sega the original, Atari. Bro, I had so many games on my PSP. I used to play them on the train like it was nothing. It take you like an hour. You download so much shit. You give it to a little kid, they don't know what to do. They like in a candy shop.
Oh yeah, I know. My daughter plays my Steam Deck from time to time. I have games downloaded on my Steam Deck just for my daughter, like Lego Star Wars. I have like a Pac-Man game for her. I have a Sonic Frontiers game downloaded for her. Because I know whenever I pull my Steam Deck out, she'd be like, "Daddy, can me play? Can me play?" Newtown says, "Why the hell are you two arguing about Steam Deck versus Switch 2?" Because that's going to be the argument when that shit drops. You talking about two, like supposedly the Nintendo Switch is going Switch 2 is going to be more powerful than the Steam Deck. But you're talking about the Steam Deck, which is still able to play a lot of the newest games out. Like I played Hellblade 2 and beat Hellblade 2 on my Steam Deck. If Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga on my Steam Deck. If you look at that game, that is
Let me ask you a
probably
question. Can you play Street Fighter 6 on your Steam Deck?
yes. I can play Street Fighter 6 and get 60 frames per second on my Steam Deck.
Check this out. Switch is just getting it on
Yeah.
Switch 2. They're gonna get it.
But it's going to be able. But the thing is, the developers are going to optimize it on Nintendo Switch. So it won't even surprise me if Street Fighter 6 runs better
Probably
on
runs
Nintendo
better.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the developers
That's
are going
true.
to optimize it better, and that's what's going to happen. Any game that comes out to Nintendo Switch that's on the Steam Deck is probably going to run and look better on the Switch because the developers are actually going to take time to optimize it for the Nintendo Switch. They don't do that. They just put it on Steam, and then it's up to Valve to optimize it for the Nintendo Switch. But
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Valve is doing a great job though, because like it runs a shit ton of games, bro. If you look at Hellblade 2, Hellblade 2 is probably the best looking game this generation, and that runs on the Steam Deck. Like RoboCop Rogue City is a game I just beat, and it's a game I've been telling your brother to download. It's one of the best looking games out, bro. It's a